and New York State. And similar,
Please speak into the mic, sir.
oh, I'm sorry. Similar to that of my colleagues here, is election integrity in our county and state. You've heard a lot of the numbers. You've got a deficits report there, and we're urging that you, all of you, take a look at that and review it carefully. And then you're going to be presented with a resolution asking for an end-to-end audit of the New York State Board of Elections, Secretary of State's office who certifies the elections. You know, not to beat a lot of numbers, but there are several discrepancies. One of them being the Secretary of State's office certifies our elections. For some reason, unknown to us, they certify an election with an extra 338,356 more votes than there were actual voters throughout the state that voted in the 2020 general election, which is a curious thing. And an unsatisfactory answer is, I don't know. And none of us know. And this is the reason where it's essential that we get to the bottom of why there are so many different discrepancies, and there are several. I really don't have enough time to go into many of the details and many of the discrepancies, but this end-to-end audit is absolutely necessary. And why these discrepancies are occurring, I don't know. And nobody knows. But we're never going to find out unless there is an end-to-end audit of the New York State Board of Elections, Secretary of State's office, which certifies our elections because there are massive discrepancies. And I'm going to give you some numbers here just to cover something. There are 1.2 million voters that have multiple SBO IDs, up to 2.4 million State Board of Election ID numbers. You're only supposed to have one State Board of Election ID number that you carry throughout the state, throughout the time you live in New York State. You can move to different counties, have different have different county voter registration numbers, but one State Board of Election ID. There are people we have found that have up to 11 State Board of Election ID numbers. In fact, there's a guy that lives in upstate New York has 21 of these State Board of Election ID numbers. This matter needs to be looked into, and we're insisting that towns throughout Suffolk County adopt this resolution for an end-to-end audit. So that's where it begins, and I know it's a county, you guys don't maintain voter rolls, neither does Smith County. However, it's essential that we start here, and we ask you to adopt this resolution.
Thank you, anyway. And on that, I've seen some signs around town. Is that your organization with signs? Okay, just on that note, as a general announcement, I see other candidates for public office in the room. In the election season coming up, and this applies to your signs as well. They should never be placed on public property. And they, listen, I know you can't control every single sign, and I say this also to the candidates if they're watching. Please direct your campaigns to keep them off public property. Encourage them to put up on private property only, but on public property they'll be removed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, that concludes public portion. Are there any